Okay, and then this is another plant shelf that I have over here in this corner. So let's talk about these plants next. Here is the mother plant that you've seen a few propagations, or I think I showed one propagation on it, which is, oops, right there. But again, this is the mother plant. Again, this is a Chinese money plant, or a Pilea peperomoides is the proper name for it. But this plant is really doing well. The older the leaves get, I wish I could find one here. They kind of pucker and look funny, but they're really hardy leaves. They feel nice and hard and thick, kind of reminds me of a succulent. But this is an easy plant to care for, and it's also really easy to propagate from. If you look, I have like a whole another plant that has just formed. As you can see, there's the stem on it right there. So it's many plants in one. But I love this. It's starting to get a little bit full. I think it really likes where I have it. As you can see, it's getting a lot of bright sun right now. And it is just really happy and easy to care for, and again, easy to propagate. And I did do a video on this. I think it's the very first video I ever did on this channel. I love the leaves on here. They remind me of like lily pads, or those frog pads. I can't think of lily pads. What are they called? Sorry. Anyway, so that is just a gorgeous plant, a fun plant to own for beginners, and easy to propagate, like I said. Moving over here, this is another succulent. This is called a donkey's tail. Funny name, but easy to remember. I wish mine was a little more fuller. I don't think, oh, see, it's so easy to pop those off. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I think it's just a very slow grower. So I'll be excited when this one just explodes and gets really full and big, but easy to care for. Again, maybe water it once every 2 weeks because it is a succulent. And then moving down here, this is a Siviria Cylindrica, I believe, or an orchid spear is another name for it. It is just so cool looking. It's a fun plant to own. As you can see, let me pull it out. It's kind of in an awkward place for me to talk about it. Okay, so I wanted to show it to you close up. These are real thick, hardy leaves. They remind me of like carrots. But yeah, so you can see it fans out. This here is a new growth since we bought it. It popped out on its own. And then as you can see here, I have a whole new plant in front of it growing. And that's got 2 little spears popping up here, and it will look just like the back one. It'll fan out. I'll have multiple ones that will fan out. So this is just a really cool plant and fun to watch grow. I just think it's really cute and fun. So again, this is another snake plant from the snake plant family. Okay, and then down here on the bottom is another succulent. Now, this one isn't probably doing too great. Let me pull it out. Okay, and I am unsure of the name of this succulent, but as you can see, it has become pretty lanky. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I don't know if it needs a little bit more sunlight. I still think it's really cute. I mean, where else is it gonna grow but up? But I love how thick and hardy these leaves are. And on this floating shelf of mine, I like to have the succulents down here. Again, they still do get quite a bit of sun being near this west facing window. So that is the next one. Okay, and while we're down here, moving on to this next gorgeous plant. This is a Dracaena Warneckii, I believe. I could be saying that wrong, but it's a Dracaena. Very easy plant to care for. I've had some new growth here. That's the most recent leaf on it. But it is a very easy plant. I water it once a week. Just water it when it needs to be watered. As you can see, it's here in the same room with all the other plants where it's near a west-facing window, but it's getting bright indirect sun all day. And I love the white variegation on the leaves here. All right, moving up here, This is another plant that came out of a plant arrangement, again, that I had gotten from my friend when my cat had died. So I separated this and have it now on its own. I think it's so pretty. Looks kind of like a palm type of a plant. I do not know the name on this. I think it is some sort of a palm plant, but tell me if you know what it is. But it's fairly easy to take care of. Water it once a week and it just does great. Okay, this one here, its name is a Peperomia green. It's also known as a baby rubber plant. Pulling it out, I wanted to give you a closer look. The leaves, again, are kind of like a thicker, hardy leaf. They remind me of a succulent and do not really require a lot of care. Again, I know I keep repeating myself, but it is in a room that has a west-facing window. It gets bright indirect sunlight. I water it when it needs to be watered, which is usually once a week or once every 2 weeks. And I do treat this plant similar to how I treat my succulents. All right, and moving up here, this is another one of the plants that came out of that plant arrangement that my friend bought me. This is called I know what it is, Dieffenbachia, also known as a dumb cane. And I'm still trying to figure out this plant. I did repot it, like I said. I think the leaves up here are just gorgeous. And from what I understand, they can get quite big. But what I'm confused about is when you look down at all the new growth, they don't really have variegation on them. And they almost look like whole new plants. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I've got all this new growth. I don't know if the variegation comes later on the leaves or what is happening. It seems like a happy plant. None of the leaves are dying. You can see it's got new growth back there. But it's just interesting because the variegation on these leaves are just stunning and gorgeous. So I'm happy with the plant, but I don't know what's going on underneath. So I'm just gonna be patient because it seems happy. I know that the name dumb cane, I know that this is a highly toxic plant. So if you were to try to eat this plant, I think it causes your tongue to swell and you can't talk. And so that's why it's called dumb cane. But it's definitely not a plant that you would want around little kids or animals because it is very toxic. And then moving up here, this is another one of my pride possession plants. I absolutely love this. This is a Syngonium pink illusion. So the reason why it's called a pink illusion is it has a little bit of pink variegation on the leaves. I love Syngoniums. I think they are gorgeous. Underneath is just a bright green leaf. But as you can see, there are pink variegations. Some not so much. As you can see, that doesn't have a lot of pink. It's more of the veins. But then, like, look at this gorgeous leaf. This one's got a lot of pink in it. I think the leaves look really odd when they are starting to unfurl. Here's a new leaf here, and I'm excited because you can see the pink in there. But again, like, these are two new leaves that are opening up and they just look so bizarre. And I'm excited about this new one here because look, it's got a lot of pink. And then I've also got new growth. Oh, sorry, it's hard for me to find it. Well, I can see it, but I don't know. There it is, right there. That's another new growth. So I bought this plant around Valentine's Day just for myself. It's in this cute pink pot, but I do believe I need to repot this because, again, this planter pot, it's ceramic. It has no draining holes on the bottom, and that is a concern to me. If you've watched any of my videos and my plant care tips, plants need to be in pots that have well drainage holes, and this one does not. But right now it is doing great, and I'm getting it acclimated to my home. Again, I bought it in February, and it is now March, so I've owned it about a month. It's just really happy, and again, one plant that I really, really love. It's just gorgeous. All right, and then coming down here, this is my mother snake plant. If you remember in my part 1, I talked about this snake plant here that I propagated, and that was off of the mother plant that I'm showing you here. And again, the proper name for snake plants is Sansevieria, also known as mother-in-law's tongue. I think that's because it looks like a long tongue and it's got a sharp tip. So you know how some mother-in-laws can be mean. Anyway, it's just kind of a funny little name, but this plant is great for beginners. Like I said, I don't have to water it too often. You can go a couple of weeks forgetting to water it, and it still will do really, really well. Signs that you need to water it. Right here, you'll see some browning on the leaves. But again, the plant usually doesn't die. It rebounds pretty quickly. So again, I probably water this maybe twice a month, and it does great. I've got this by a west-facing window. So again, that is in the corner of our living room. And now moving on over here to our coffee table. These are, for the most part, succulents. I believe this is called like a flapjack, but it's a great succulent and doing really well. I think it's just so cute and petite, and it's really cute. It's got a whole new plant that has popped up inside. So that one is doing really well. And then this is a Sansevieria trifasciati Hani or Hani. I'm probably butchering this name, but this is just in the snake plant family. Again, it's kind of more of a dwarf snake plant, so it's just really cute. Again, I just treat it like a succulent, only water it when it needs to be watered once or twice a month, which is the same that I do for this. And I do bottom water most of my succulents. And then moving over here, this is a plant that I've actually had some issues with. This is a Peperomia. I think it is just really, really cute and delicate. It's got a pink underside to it. But I'm trying to figure this one out. I've had some leaves die underneath. I think it likes to be, maybe I've overwatered it, I don't know. But I am trying my best to keep this one alive. I think peperomias are just really pretty, gorgeous plant. But again, having a little bit of issues with this one for some reason. So again, this is just on our coffee table. It is facing a west-facing window. Seems to do pretty well here. And then moving on to this corner, that big plant there is a bird of paradise. So again, like I said, this is my bird of paradise. This is my very first plant that I ever bought. I bought it at Walmart, and I have had some new growth on it. I've had to learn to not freak out if this plant doesn't look perfect. As you can see, I've got some ripped leaves. But I've had friends just remind me that that's how they look in the wild, you know, where they are grown, because they're usually dealing with high rains, high winds, their leaves just crack easily. I've got, let me see if I can show you this. I'm so proud of this leaf. It is just huge. Not sure if you can even see how big that is, but it is a huge leaf. And the leaf got stuck while it was unfurling. I did a video to show people how to manage and get it unstuck. But then you can kind of see here that sometimes the leaves curl a little bit. I don't know if that's because it's not getting enough water. But for the most part, it is just a gorgeous plant. The leaves are just gorgeous and shiny. I did recently put neem oil on these plants, you know, just trying to keep any bugs away and just make those leaves look nice and shiny. But I love this plant, and it's doing really well. Then moving here, I've got another plant stand. By the way, I've got all my plant stands just off of Amazon. They were not a lot of money at all. All right, starting here with the first one. I do not know and remember the name of this plant. I just got it from Lowe's, and it's done really well. It's probably tripled in size. It's still kind of a small plant, but as you can see, it's got a little bit of white variegation on the leaves. It looks to me a lot like the money tree, not the Chinese money plant, but the money tree. I think it might be in the same family, but fairly easy to take care of. And you can see these type of plants at Lowe's, really a very, very common house plant, but unfortunately I cannot remember the name. And then moving down here, I love this plant. This is a heart leaf philodendron. Really easy to care for. It's a trailing plant. So you can see it's got growth that's kind of starting to grow up that pole, and then it will start to kind of trail down. And as you can see, that's the leaves that are trailing down. I did notice that when the new leaves come out, they're kind of like a brown color. At first I thought they were dead, but they come out kind of a darker brown color, and then they turn to this darker green color. This one here is a little bit lighter. I don't know why, but I love when the new growth comes out. It's just tiny and petite, but this is just a really gorgeous plant. I may someday need to hang it up and let it trail, you know, from the ceiling, but right now I'm loving the look. I know that this is a very easy plant to propagate, but I have not done that yet. But again, that is a heart leaf philodendron. And then here, I have a love-hate relationship with this plant. My daughter picked this plant out for me. She just really liked the cute petite leaves, which I do too. But this plant has struggled. If you look close to here, there's a lot of dead inside. I did replant it, and I've just been trying to learn how to care for this. I just water it when it needs to be watered, so I'm probably watering it about once a week. And I think it's really liking being close here to this west-facing window. I think it likes to get a little bit more sun. I've noticed some new growth growing up here, and it's looking a lot better than it has. So, like I said, I think it's really pretty. My daughter picked it out, and I have no idea what the name is. If any of you know the name of this plant or this plant, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. So again, here are all the plants. Like I said, the majority of the plants I own are all in this room. I absolutely love it. It feels like a jungle, or I'm on vacation somewhere. So I am done showing you my living room area, and now I'm gonna move over here to my kitchen. I do not have very many plants over here. This is our dining room area, and this is a Hoya. I believe it's a Hoya Crimson Queen. I believe so. Yeah, Hoya Crimson Queen. I have not owned her for very long. And I did not know that I liked Hoyas, but I love this plant. I love the white variegation on the leaves. The tips of them are this cream color, and they're thick. They feel like a succulent. I'm learning how to care for it. It's definitely a plant I want to hang up, but I have not found, I ordered some hanging basket type of things that I'm gonna be putting some hanging plants in. I may do that philodendron, heart-shaped philodendron, heart-leaf philodendron, and this one may hang up. And I've had my eye on a spider plant, and all three of those would need to be hung. But again, I had no idea that I liked Hoyas, and this is my very first one, and I definitely want to incorporate some more because so far it's been really easy to care for. I love the trailing leaves on the sides here. I just think it's a delicate but hardy and easy to care for plant. Okay, and then moving here into my kitchen, as you can see, I don't have a ton of plants in here. I do have this one plant in here. This is a Peperomia Silver Ripple. I love peperomias. I have not owned this one for very long. but I wanted to put it here. This is just our entryway from our garage. And I have I have like a bucket here for plant stuff, my watering cans, my little spray. And I just wanted to put a plant here in my kitchen. And so far I'm finding out this is easy to care for, but I have not owned it for too long, but I just think it's gorgeous. Again, I love peperomias. So I'm excited that I have added this beauty to my collection. And I hope this isn't too bright for you guys, but here is the rest. That's a fake plant, not real. But this is my windowsill in my kitchen, and it's very bright right now, so I don't know how well you guys will see this. But most of these are succulents. This one is actually not doing too well. I don't know if it suffered from the winter. It used to just be gorgeous and full, but the leaves underneath have been dying. I still think it's gorgeous. I'm gonna try to keep it alive, but I may need to replace it. This one here is so cool and spiky. I may need to move it down just so I can show you guys better. There we go. Okay. So look how cool the little baby pups are on this. Again, this is a succulent. I don't water it very often. When I do, I bottom water it. And I'm probably maybe only watering it once or twice a month, but it is just so cool looking. It has grown quite a bit since I got it, and I probably need to repot it and possibly take those little pups off and create brand new plants out of them. And then moving on, this is another succulent. I'm gonna have to remove all of these to show you guys. That has just grown very lanky and long, but it's so cute and pretty. I just stuck like a shish kebab stick on there and then took a little clip to hold it up, because otherwise it would just hang and droop and probably break. But I just think this is so cool and unique. I really, really love succulents, and they're so easy to care for. And then this is a propagation station that I have. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I'm just doing some little experiments with the Syngonium. And again, I told you guys how easy Chinese money plants are to propagate. This is just a propagation. Look at all those roots. I need to get this planted badly. And then this is another Chinese money plant. Just the little leaf fell off. It's one leaf. It fell off the plant. I grabbed it, I stuck it in water, and look at all those roots that have grown. So I need to, again, get this planted and let it live. But that's really cool. You can have like one leaf fall out, stick the stem in water, and then just watch all of those roots grow. And I truly love to have this windowsill of mine filled with like little plants or propagations that are happening. I just think it's really pretty. This here is another succulent that my daughter picked out. This is a panda plant, I believe. And the little colors on the top and how the leaves are furry. It's such a cute, happy plant. It likes being in full sun. That's why I have it on the windowsill. And again, I only have to water it once or twice a month. And I do bottom water this. Isn't that cute though? That is a panda plant. And then here is another succulent. It is stuck to my windowsill. Wow. Okay. I have no idea what this is called. I don't know the name of it, but there's red leaves and green leaves. It's very prickly and hard and hardy, but it's very happy. I may need to repot it soon. As you can see, it's got this cute little pup sitting right there. I can make a whole nother plant out of that. But again, as I keep saying, water once or twice a month. It likes full sun, so I have it here on my windowsill. And then the last plant here in my kitchen is just this cute hanging one. Don't know the name of it, but it's just like the others, very easy to take care of. I probably only water this once a month. Okay, and I do not have a lot of plants throughout my house and other rooms. I tend to forget to water them, so I'm starting to incorporate putting plants in other rooms in my house. This is our guest bedroom, This here is, I had a love-hate relationship with this plant, but I've really grown to love this. This is a Sago Palm. I want to show you some pictures of what this looked like. It was interesting because when we first got it, it had really small leaves on it that were sharp and pointy, and I just really didn't like it. My daughter had picked it out, so I got it. And then new leaves grew, and the way they grew, it was so interesting. They were fuzzy, furry leaves that just grew really tall like spikes. And then they opened up to these beautiful, flowing, pretty leaves. It looks so tropical to me. And then all the leaves underneath died. This is one that's still existing. I'll show you right here. But I think just the lower, I think they have like a life expectancy, or, you know, but they just eventually, the leaves underneath die. I'll kind of try to show you some pictures of what it looked like compared to now, and I just think it is gorgeous. It does take up this whole corner in this room though. And then moving up here, these are just two plants again that came out of that plant arrangement that my friend had gotten me. This is a lemon lime Dracena. I think it's really pretty, very easy to take care of, producing little new growths all the time. And then this one back here has been struggling. I really don't think it's that pretty. You can tell it's like a filler. All the leaves underneath have died. Like that's one that's gonna go next. So I'll probably end up just getting rid of this one, but for now it sits back here with this pretty lemon lime Dracaena. Okay, now into my bedroom. These are the only two plants I have in here. I definitely want to bring more in, but I need my husband to build me more shelves, or I just need to find a way to display the plants that I want to put in here. But these are the two that I have in here. This is just your regular Syngonium, the green Syngonium. I think they call it a butterfly Syngonium, or they're known as arrowheads. I've got one dead leaf back there, but this has also got a lot of new growth on it. If you look, I've got little baby spikes coming up everywhere. But this plant is starting to kind of get heavy, and I may need to propagate it and put the leaves back in, because I like the look of a fuller plant. I don't really want it to hang and be trailing, if that makes sense. But I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the veining on these leaves. I think the green is just gorgeous and pretty. And this just sits on a west-facing window, but most of the time I have our blinds down. And this is just your regular aloe vera plant. Fun to have. This is probably doubled in size, and super happy where I keep it. It's had new growth. I think that's the newest growth that you can see right there. But yeah, this is gonna get a lot bigger, so I'm definitely gonna have to move it. But those are the only two plants in my bedroom. And like I said, I want to incorporate more. And when I do, I will bring it to my channel. Okay guys, so I am getting on and officially ending my houseplant tour. This is part 3. I do have to apologize that I had to put it in 3 parts. You know, watching it back, I did spend too much time talking about each plant, but I can't help it because I love each and every one of my plants so much that I just talked about each one of them a little too long, but that's okay. So this is me ending part 3 of my houseplant tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you stick around and subscribe, become part of my houseplant family. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below. Turn on the notification bell so you're notified each and every time I upload. And I will be back more with some more plant videos. Take care, guys. Bye.